So, okay, good afternoon, everyone. So, I welcome you all to this lecture series on basic electronics, and this is lecture number 20. And we want to continue with where we have left in the last class. So, in the last class or in last couple of classes, we started with the operational amplifiers, and we try to obtain some sort of expressions or the characteristics with respect to the op-amp. And we saw how exactly the op-amps basically have different characteristics. And as far as the respective input and output terminals and along with other pins are concerned, so this is how is my symbolic nature of my op-amp looks. And we in a discussion we started to identify two major characteristics. That is, input impedance should be very high. Practically speaking, ideally speaking, it should be infinite, and output impedance should be very low, or ideally speaking, it should be zero. And then we also understood why we should have a very high voltage gain, basically in order to amplify the smallest of the smallest signal to its maximum value. I should ensure that the gain should be very large. And then we also looked into what we mean by the slew rate, and how exactly it is going to impact the performance of my signals. So basically, it is nothing but the change of the output voltage with respect to the time, or basically how exactly input hang change akonta hokati output no ade way na change akonta hoypa antandra, then I can say that they are very asynchronous to each other, or they are linear, and basically this has to be very large. So that indicates the change with respect to input to the time, and the change what is going to happen at the output to the time should be in sync with each other. So that's what one thing we saw. And then we looked into what exactly we mean by bandwidth, and we also try to understand how the bandwidth is going to play a crucial role if I'm talking with respect to different signals. So basically we try to draw a different, so we say this was our F1 frequency and this was our F2 frequency, and the difference in the frequency is basically nothing but your bandwidth. So this was our bandwidth which we were talking about. So basically bandwidth ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ I can be able to amplify the large amount of signals with different frequencies, right from the lowest frequency to the highest frequency. If the bandwidth suppose another ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, suppose if the bandwidth is like this, wherein my F1 and F2 have been reduced. So I'll be left with only this band of frequencies to be amplified. So this is what I do not deserve, or the op-amp does not deserve. This is what is required. So this is what basically we try to figure out in the bandwidth aspect. And then we started with something called as offset voltage, and let us try to understand somewhat about the offset voltages, and then we'll try to understand what are the different applications of op-amp which we are going to deal in this particular class. So basically there are 6 applications of op-amps that you are going to study in this entire module. That is how the op-amp can be utilized as an inverting amplifier. So like I was talking, inverting amplifier antandre nanage input hing kotirtini, like if this is my input signal and my output will be, definitely it will be amplified because I say it is an amplifier, but it will be in the inverted format. So it will be of this nature. So this is what is known as 180 degree out of phase. So because the input phase and the output phase are not at all matching, but at the same time they are amplified. So this is what is basically known as your inverting amplifier, and how exactly your op-amp can behave like an inverting amplifier, that also we can see in this class. We also talk about how exactly voltage amplifier, the op-amp can be behaving as a non-inverting amplifier. Non-inverting amplifier ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ, ನೀವು input ಹೆಂಗ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀರಿ ಅದೇ ವೇನ output ಬರ್ತೈತಿ, but it will be in the amplified version. So this is my non-inverting amplifier. And as and when the class progresses, we will also look into other applications like voltage follower, adder, and like, or basically the summing circuit, integrator, or a differentiator. So normally which we try to use in our calculator. Now calculator na use ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀವಿ, integration application ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ the differentiation application. So all these things we often or we frequently use it in our calculator. So basically in performing all those aspects behind your main or inside your calculator in the form of an IC, the op-amps will be integrated in order to perform all these functionalities. So that's what we'll be learning in some of the next lectures. Fine. Let's try to get into some aspects with respect to the gain. So I was talking about a gain which we represent usually by A. So A anta na represent madadaga how I try to express the gain, it is output voltage by input voltage. So that's my gain. Now in that there are two kinds of gains. One is the differential gain and another is common mode gain. ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಹಂಗಂತಂದ್ರೆ, see, differential gain ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, of course I'll be doing gain ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ I'll be doing the division with respect to output and input ಇದನ್ನೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. But this input will be changing when I talk about differential gain and common mode gain. Like for example, because I know that op-amp has got two inputs, one is inverting terminal, one another is non-inverting terminal, and let's say this is V1 and this is V2, and I say that usually the output of the op-amp is nothing but the difference between the inputs, and whatever the difference between the inputs come, that will be taken forward for the amplification. So if this is a scenario, then if I want to talk about or if I want to express what is differential gain, I say that differential gain is nothing but output voltage divided by the difference between the input voltage. So specifically I can write V naught by VD. Rather than writing V in, I write VD. So what exactly VD here stands for? VD stands for differential input voltage or the difference between two input voltages. So when I try to calculate output by the difference between two input signals, then that kind of gain is represented by the term AD. So this is nothing but your differential gain. And in the same time, let's say V1 and V2 are being applied with a common signals. Like for example, idukku 5 volt signal kottini, idukku 5 volt signal kottini, and as per my calculation in the above equation, I say that the difference between these two input signals will be taken into account. So 5 ಮತ್ತು 5 ಎರಡು signals ಅಥವಾ ಎರಡು terminals ನಾನು 5 voltage ಕೊಟ್ಟೆಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ what will be the difference? The difference will be 0. And in order to avoid this sort of confusion, what we do basically, when we give two voltages which are equal, then we try to take out some of the common terms out of it. So basically we are going to take the common voltage. So common voltage antandre 5 ಮತ್ತು 5 ನಡುವೆ common voltage ಏನು, it is 5. So or else I can just say 5, it is averaged with this thing. So that is 5 plus 5 divided by 5, which happens to be again 5. So basically this 5 will be considered as new input when we have two inputs of same amplitude. When we have two inputs with a different amplitude, difference between them will be considered. When we have two inputs of same nature, then the common mode voltage or the voltage which is taken by considering the average of these two voltages will be considered. So our voltage will be amplified with the given value of gain. So basically A will be multiplied with 5 and I am going to get the output voltage. So this is what is basically your common mode gain. So therefore, and the op-amp common mode gain is defined as the gain at which the op-amp amplifies the common mode signal, and it is represented by AC is equal to V naught by VC, and the differential gain is represented by AD is equal to V naught by VD. So this is what is the two major gain parameters that we come across in the op-amps. Now let us try to relate these AD and AC with what is known as common mode rejection ratio. So basically common mode rejection ratio CMRR is defined as the ratio of the differential gain to the common mode gain. So already we know what is differential gain, it is my AD, and already we know that what is the common mode gain, it is AC. If I take AD by AC, so if I do that, what will be the resulting expression? If I take AD by AC, so that means V naught by VD divided by V naught by VC. So V naught cancels out, and what is that you are going to get? It will be VC by VD. Sorry, VD by VC. So that's what I'm going to get. So basically, I can say common mode rejection. Or simple terms na helodandre common mode rejection ratio antandenu. ability to reject the common mode signals and ability to perform the amplification by considering the input in the form of two different signals. So common mode signals ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರ್ತಾವಪ್ಪ ಅಥವಾ common mode signals ನ ಯಾಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ? It is not I give the common mode signals. Sometimes by virtue of the device nature ನಾನು op-amp use ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, sometimes it may happen so that for both these terminals, terminal number 1 and 2, some sort of noise will be affected. So noise will get attached to these two terminals 1 and 2. Under these conditions, I say that terminal number 1, that is non-inverting terminal as well as non-inverting terminal, will be having a common signal which is an unwanted signal, which is my noise. So in that time I do not wish to amplify this noise. What will happen if I try to amplify? If I try to amplify some sort of noise, then that noise will be even louder and it will come out as a bigger noise, which it should be absolutely avoided. So at that time I should ensure that the op-amp will reject these kinds of noise signals which are going to act as a common mode signals. So hanta time this CMRR will come into picture, and I'm going to utilize the CMRR to identify such kind of signals. So basically I was talking about CMRR is nothing but the ratio of a differential gain to the common mode gain. Now let's just move on to the next one. Sleeve rate we have already discussed. Anyhow, let me just repeat. So sleeve rate is nothing but the maximum rate of change of its output voltage with respect to time. So that's what we have discussed in the last class. Now coming on to the most important parameter, which is your offset voltage. So basically, what do we mean by offset voltage? Athwa there are two categories of offset voltage: input offset voltage anbodu athwa output offset voltage anbodu. So basically, when I use the term offset, so it indicates by what amount of voltage your expected value is differing. So that is what is known as offset. Hangandre yenappa, how we are going to categorize that with respect to op-amp. See here, when we are connecting an op-amp, let's say that I'm tying both the non-inverting and inverting terminal to the ground. So ನನಗೆ ಏನು input ಬಂದಂಗಾತು? Just let me know what will be the input to both these terminals. 0, right? If I am giving 0 as input, what do you expect? Gain ಎಷ್ಟರೇ ಇರಲಿ, input is 0 ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಗ obviously the output should be 0. But sometimes, or if you just connect this way in the laboratory and try to see the outputs by connecting the inputs to the ground, wherein you are making the input to be 0, you are not going to get output as 0. Output will be having some value. Is some value ellinda bantappa? So that is the main question. This some value will be coming into picture when we are going to tie the inputs to ground, but somehow due to some sort of noise or due to some sort of distortion, some voltage would have been attached to the non-inverting terminal or inverting terminal. And this will be typically a very small voltage. And that input voltage, which is by virtue of noise or distortion which is coming over here, will get amplified, and instead of getting output as 0, I will be getting some output. See, when both the input terminals are shorted and connected to the ground, the output should be ideally 0, but practically there exists a small DC output voltage known as output offset voltage. So E type connection kottaga I should be getting 0, but if I am not getting 0 and if I get some output voltage, that some output voltage, whatever I am getting the extra voltage, is known as output offset voltage. Eager, practically speaking, because I'm connecting both the input terminals to ground, I should see that output should be tied to, or output should be having a value of 0. But because this is not the case, I should ensure that when I connect it to ground, before I start using my op-amp, ಈಗ ನಾನು ಇನ್ನೂ op-amp ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. Like for example, I have not used the op-amp in any of the application, or neither I have given the actual signals. I know op-amp use ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ I'm making the op-amp ready. So ready ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ I'm making my op-amp to get ready before the start of the application. So now only I am seeing that because of this connection, I am seeing there is a small output voltage. So my job is to ensure that when I connect both inverting and non-inverting terminal to ground, I should see that output should be getting a value of 0. ಈ ಝೀರೋ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಝೀರೋ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. How I should be doing? By doing or by attaching some sort of extra circuit over here, which will ensure that that extra voltage, whatever I am getting at the output side, is nullified by the extra input voltage that I can apply at the input side. So basically, to make this output voltage 0, a small voltage is required to be applied to one of the input terminals. Such a voltage makes the output exactly 0. This DC voltage which makes the output voltage 0 is called as input offset voltage, VIOS. Getting my point? So ಯಾವ voltage apply ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನನಗೆ output voltage 0 ಆಗುತ್ತಾ, that is known as my input offset voltage. ಯಾವ voltage when I connect the both input terminals to ground but still I get the output voltage, that particular voltage is known as your output offset voltage. So let me just try to give you some picture. See, here let's say I am getting a value of 2 millivolt. So in spite of connecting the input terminals to ground, I am still getting a value of 2 millivolt. And because this is a positive voltage, that means some sort of voltage is present over here. And if I assume the op amp is having a gain of 1, I can say that there is definitely a 2 millivolt of some noise is coming and sitting on this non-inverting terminal. That is making my output voltage look like 2 millivolt, because 2 millivolt multiplied by gain of 1 will be again equal to 2 millivolt. So if I just want to avoid, if I try to avoid this, then what should I do? It 2 millivolt till plus the, so if I try to apply the another 2 millivolt over here, or if I try to apply the, this is 2 millivolt plus 2 millivolt, if I try to apply a minus 2 millivolt, so that means 2 millivolt was already present over here, and I am trying to apply negative 2 millivolt, which is going to make sure minus 2 millivolt and plus 2 millivolt, making it to 0. So this way I'm nullifying the impact of the extra or the distorted or the unwanted input signal that is arising from nowhere. So the extra input voltage na ಏನು apply ಮಾಡಿದನಲ್ಲ, that is your input offset voltage. And because even before you do something, and when you connected this to the ground, you are supposed to get output as 0, but you are getting output as 2 millivolt. This is your output offset voltage. So this is basically the difference. So that's what I have written over here, the input offset voltage definition. In fact, I just mentioned here itself, but if I can just rewrite the thing, the DC voltage which makes the output voltage 0 when other terminal is grounded is called input offset voltage. See, that's what I did. Other terminal is grounded. This other terminal, that is my inverting terminal, is grounded, and in the non-inverting terminal, ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಒಂದು 2 millivolt noise ಬಂದು ಕುಂತಿತ್ತು, ಅದನ್ನು nullify ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ I applied one more 2 millivolt, which is exactly opposite in nature. So that 2 millivolt and this 2 millivolt will be nullified, and I'm going to get output in the input to be equal to 0. So 0 0, hence I'm going to get output as 0. So input side ಗೆ ಏನೇ voltage apply ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ such that it is going to make your output voltage 0, that is known as your input offset voltage. Fine. Now there is something called as input bias current. Once we know what are input and offset voltages, let us try to understand the input bias current. Now, some of the advanced learnings towards these concepts you are going to learn in your higher semester, but just to make or just to give you a glimpse of what exactly input bias current is. So it is basically the average value of the individual current flowing into the inverting and non-inverting input terminals of the op amp. So that's what I can just say, input bias current. And I have taken IB1 and IB2 are my two currents that is flowing inside the op amp, and if I take the average of that, so that will become my input bias current. So this is the simple definition I can give to the input bias current, and this is what you can just remember as far as your basic electronics op amp concept is concerned. So these are some of the typical characteristics and factors that are going to affect the op amp, and how you are going to ensure you maintain the proper characteristics of my op-amp. So this is, if I just come back over here, I should ensure the CMRR to be infinite, which means it should be able to reject all or every noise or every unwanted signal that is coming and falling on any one of the input terminals. And basically I should ensure that the offset voltage should be 0, input offset voltage, and hence my output offset voltage also should be 0. So these things I should include in my characteristics. So once we are now done with the input characteristics of my op-amp, and once we know how exactly the symbol of my op-amp looks, now let us jump into the first application of my op-amp, which I'm going to discuss it in today's class. So the first application is my op-amp in the inverting amplifier configuration. Or basically, if I try to put it in the form of a question, draw an inverting amplifier using an op-amp and derive expression for its output voltage. So like I told you, output voltage expression output voltage minus sign. Because it is behaving as an inverting amplifier, so na input voltage na yavade format na kotrunu, the output voltage will be exactly 180 degree out of phase than the input voltage. So this is what I'm going to get as my output voltage. So because I am going to get the inverted or the exactly 180 degree out of phase than the input voltage, hence I am bound to get a negative sign at the output side. And that negative sign is going to indicate that the output is 180 degree out of phase. Fine. So let's try to kickstart. So let me just give you a glimpse of how the connections are made. I have taken an op-amp and I have connected the inverting terminal. To the inverting terminal, I have connected an input voltage through a resistance R1, and the non-inverting terminal, which I have marked as node B, I have connected to ground. There is a resistance RF, which I call it as a feedback resistance, is connected between the inverting terminal to the output terminal. So why I call it as a feedback resistance? Because the output is connected back to the input, which means it is acting like a feedback configuration. Feedback, I'm feeding some part of the output back to the input. So that is why I say it is acting as a feedback. And that resistance is represented by the term RF. And the resistance which you find at the input side, I'm going to represent it by the name R1. Now, and here is my output. Now tell me, I have shown there are two currents. In fact, I have shown you three currents. On the I1, so this current is the current which is flowing through resistance R1. There is a IF, and this is the current which is flowing through RF. And I have shown you there is one current named as I, and I have mentioned I is equal to 0. Can anybody quickly tell me why I have shown I is equal to 0? Any answer? Quickly. Now the session is open for you guys. I want an answer.
KCL.
Fine, KCL, because I1 is entering over here and IF is exiting over here. According to KCL? KCL adru current entering this node should be equal to current leaving the node. Andre I1 is equal to IF plus I anbodu. But my question is, I is equal to 0 anta na heng mention madide without knowing anything. Blindly I have written I is equal to 0. Is that true, or why should I write that I is equal to 0? That's my question.
Due to ground connection.
Due to ground connection, but ground connection is here. Now current il torsini illi I is equal to 0, fair enough, because it is a ground connection. See, common sense, look here, the very first characteristics or the second characteristic which I mentioned over here. What does it says? Very large input resistance. Athwa, ideally speaking, Rin is infinite. That means, look here, again I repeat, tell me whether this is an op-amp circuit or an op-amp device, or which is your op-amp device, or which is the input to the op-amp and which is the input to the op-amp circuit. If I just mention here VA and VB as two voltages at node A and B, and here is my Vin. Tell me which is the input voltage to the entire op-amp circuit and which is the input voltage to the op-amp device. Quickly.
Vin is input and V0 is output.
For the entire circuit. right? So because I am giving the input to the entire circuit. What about VA and VB? They are the input voltages for my op-amp device, right? ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ನಾನು I1 equal to 0 ಅನ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ I1 equal to 0 ಅನ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ there is a voltage source, and because of this voltage source definitely there is gonna be some current over here. So there will be some current as per my input voltage. But ಅದೇ ನಾನು op-amp device ಕಡೆ ಬಂದಾಗ I said I is equal to 0 because op-amp device has this particular property, infinite input resistance ಅಥವಾ very large input resistance, and that will be present here inside the op-amp. And because if resistance is very large, what will happen to the flow of current? It will be minimized, or it will be very small, and I can say very small can be considered as 0. So that is the reason why I am showing no current will dare to enter the op-amp due to its very large input resistance, and that is the reason I have told, I have written here I is equal to 0. So that is the one reason that you should quote while writing the answer. That will make your answer stand very different from others, and it is going to impress the examiner while when they are going to evaluate your paper. So due to the very large input resistance of my op-amp, I can say that no current will enter the op-amp. Hence I is equal to 0, ಅಥವಾ this current whatever is entering the op-amp is 0. If nothing is entering the op-amp, where does this I1 is flowing then? I1 ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ A ಕಡೆ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ, A ದಿಂದ it is directly flowing through this feedback resistors RF. So if that is the case, can I say I1 is equal to IF? Reply to me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So henceforth, I'm going to give you a tip. Henceforth, in all the subsequent lectures dealing with op-amp, idu one funda ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋರಿ. Your entire module is done. Idr ಒಂದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ you are going to solve your all the applications of the op-amp, and in henceforth you are going to derive some 5 to 6 derivations which are going to talk about different applications. ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಡೆ ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತೈತಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಅಥವಾ try to figure out what are the different currents. Specifically, this will come in almost all the applications. I1 is equal to IF, and I1 is not the input current of the op-amp, it is the input current of the op-amp circuit. Don't get confused. When you use the words, use it properly. Fine. So because no current can enter the op-amp, I can write I1 is equal to IF, and let me express I1 and IF in terms of voltages. Voltage rule or a Kirchhoff's or basically the Ohm's law. Ohm's law use ಮಾಡಿ, can you just tell me what will be I1 and IF value? The standard Ohm's law, not V by R. You should understand the direction of flow of current and then should tell me what will be the I1. I1 ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, what will be the first voltage? Where it is starting from? It is starting from V in, and where it is ending at? It is ending at VA, and through which resistance it is flowing? R1. Exactly. On the same line, can you tell me what is IF? IF L in the flow. IF is flowing from VA. And where it is ending at? V0.
Ground.
Not ground. Here it is ending. Yes. And through which resistance it is flowing?
RF.
It is flowing through RF.
RF.
Exactly. Now tell me, you know what is V in because you only have given the input voltage. You know the value of R1 because that's what you have used in the circuit, and you know the value of RF because you have used the RF. Now tell me what will be the value of VA. I do not know it because in order to solve this V0, I should be knowing VA. I should be knowing this VA. So if I want to solve that, I should know what exactly is my VA. So there comes the concept of virtual ground. There is one concept which is known as virtual ground concept, and as the name suggests, virtual ground. So because what exactly that virtual ground? You'll note it. When I try to say, let me just write over here. Output voltage upon input voltage can be written as gain, or gain is equal to output by input voltage. Or can I write this way? A multiplied by V in is equal to V naught. Please be with me. And if I want to break this V in, what exactly is V in? V in is nothing but the difference between the input voltages, that is V2 minus V1, or in this case VA minus VB, or VA minus VB minus VA and then in this case I want to consider VA minus VB. You can consider VB minus VA also, because I say it is a difference. I don't say it is a subtraction. Yeah, the biggest is the other prakarna difference to one thing. So this can be written as V naught. Now, see, this is what I started with. This is my gain equation. From this gain equation, I brought V in over here. V in is nothing but the difference between input voltages is equal to V naught. Because from this circuit, I say that B is connected to 0, right? Or let's say this way. For example, if I say, because I know ideally the gain of my op-amp is very high, or ideally speaking it is infinite. So let me just rub this out. So from here, because gain is infinite, ideally speaking, can I write this way? Infinite is equal to V naught by V in, or E equation to instead of this equation. So can I just write this way? V naught by infinite is equal to V in. And what is anything divided by infinite?
0.
0. So which means what is that you are going to get? V in is equal to 0. And what is V in? V in is nothing but VA minus VB. So that means VA minus VB is equal to 0. So if VA minus VB is equal to 0, then can I write VA is equal to VB? I can write, right? Now this is all whatever I did, it is a mathematical version. It is not the practical. That's the reason I call it as a not a real ground. I call it as a virtual ground. I say, because I can say that op-amp is a device which is going to have a very large gain, which is in the order of 2 into 10 raised to 5, which is absolutely very large. Or ideally speaking, the gain is infinite. And if I try to put this infinite value over here, I get V naught by V in is equal to infinite. Or V naught by infinite is equal to V in. And if I try to solve it, I get V in equal to 0. This also means that by default, I can consider both the input terminals situated at the same potential, which means VA is equal to VB. If VA ಯಾವ voltage ಇಗಿರ್ತೈತಿ, VB ನು ಅದೇ voltage ಇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಬೋದು from this entire mathematical concept. If I try to apply this concept over here, can you tell me what is the voltage at which VB is present now? What is the voltage at which VB is present now? VB is present at that voltage. VBL connected. It is connected to ground. So VB is 0. If VB is 0, what will be VA?
0.
Exactly. So this is the concept of virtual ground. Ega innond point ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. Ega when I say virtual ground, do not look into only connected to ground. If VB ground connect ಆಗಿತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ I assume that VA is also virtually connected to ground ಅನ್ನೋ ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ. Suppose ನಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, if VB is connected to let's say 5 volts, what will be the value of VA?
5 volts.
5 volts, exactly. But there also you say it is concept of virtual ground only. Virtual 5 volts ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. Your concept name will be same, virtual ground. But virtual ground ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬರೇ ground ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ರೂಲ್ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. It is that wherever the one of the terminal of the op-amp is connected to that same terminal, other terminal of the op-amp is also connected. And whenever I use the word, I am using op-amp, not op-amp circuit. I am talking in terms of only op-amp device. Circuit ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿನಿ. Circuit ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಂಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಸಿಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, current information. Now I am interested in what is going to happen to the op-amp input voltages. So from the concept of virtual ground, I say that VB is at 0 volts, hence VA is also at 0. If VA is at 0, I say that this cancels, this cancels. V in minus 0 is nothing but V in. 0 minus V naught by RF is minus V naught by RF. So ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನು solve ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನು ಬರ್ತದೆ ನಂಗೆ ಈಗ? Look here. This is what I just wrote over here. The same thing. V in minus VA by R1, V in minus VA by R1, and then VA minus V naught by RF, VA minus V naught by RF. As VA is equal to 0, because VB was 0 from the concept of virtual ground, and if I try to simplify or substitute the value of 0 over here, V in by R1 is equal to minus V naught by RF. And what is that I am interested in? I am interested in V naught. Nanage output voltage hen kaanadaiti adu nange bekagaiti. So what I'll do, I'll push this RF to the LHS, thereby making my equation look like V naught is equal to minus V in RF divided by R1. So this is my inverting amplifier configurations result. And as I told, output voltage is having a negative symbol. It indicate it is going to indicate that your output waveform will be exactly 180 degree out of phase as that of your input voltage. Is that clear what I told over here and what is the derivation you did? So this is what you are supposed to do for 8 to 10 marks question. So this is a very simple question and this is going to be a sure short question from your examination point of view. Draw an inverting amplifier using an op-amp and derive expression for its output voltage. Now, coming back to this, interpreting this entire output voltage equation. So whenever we try to get any voltage equation or any equation, we should interpret it. What exactly that mean? Because I should be knowing V naught is equal to minus V in my RF by R1 number there. So one thing I interpret is the negative symbol. Negative symbol it is merely indicating that it is not that the voltage is minus, it is minus voltage. It indicates that output voltage will be 180 degree out of phase than the input voltage. Then can you just compare V naught is equal to V in, we have been writing this equation V naught by V in, A is equal to V naught by V in, and then V naught is equal to V in multiplied by A. Can you just tell me and compare between these two equations and tell me what will be the value of A? Yes, what will be the value of A? Because I know V naught by V is equal to gain and V naught is equal to V into A. And if I try to compare these equations, let me write here equation number 1 and equation number 2. What will be the value of A?
Minus
A is
RF
equal to
PI divided by PM RF into RF divided by R1.
RF divided by R1. And don't forget this minus. I can V in jagadaka V in aiti. This minus illilla. So illa aiti andre ee minus idಕ್ಕೆ attach ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So A ಜಾಗದಾಗ ಏನು ಬಂತು minus RF by R1. So gain ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು minus ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇದನ್ನ plus ಅಂತ consider ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಡ್ಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. Input ಈ minus sign, do not worry about this minus sign. This is only a qualitative measure. So it is not the quantitative measure, it is a qualitative measure. It is going to indicate that the nature of the waveform. Adu bitre enu indicate madangilla. That is the only thing that is it is going to indicate. So if I try to compare V in jagada, V in the A jagada RF by R1. So what exactly is A? A is my gain. So the gain of the inverting amplifier is given by RF by R1. Now tell me, if I want to increase the gain of the amplifier, what should I do with respect to RF and R1? Which one should I increase or which one should I decrease?
RF should be increased.
RF increase, R1
RF decrease. So henceforth, if you want to play with the op-amp gain and that too in the inverting configuration, you can play around with this RF and R1. More the RF, gain will be large. Lesser the RF, gain will be large. Athwa more the R1, lesser the gain. Anything is, you can just play around with that. So in the numericals also, sometimes they will be giving these parameters. They will be mentioning what is RF, they will be mentioning what is A. You are asked to calculate R1. So you can use this formula and calculate. Do not get confused. A annodi enu gotte agilla. Do not get confused. A is nothing but your R1 by RF. So he'll be giving the overall value of A and he'll be giving the value of RF. You can calculate R1. Athwa he may be giving a value of R1 and A, you can calculate RF. And then once you calculate all these things, I can easily calculate the output voltage. Of course, output voltage na easily calculate ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ V in ಬೇಕು ನನಗೆ output voltage calculate ಮಾಡಕ, and then gain ಬೇಕು. That is my RF by R1. So basically this entire thing, whatever you can see on screen, V0 is equal to V in times A. So illi there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 parameters, and any 2 or 3 parameters can be given to identify the 4th parameter. So like he may give output voltage and he may give RF and R1, and you may be asked to calculate what is the input voltage. He may give input voltage and RF. You may be asked to calculate R1 and output voltage. So any such kind of patterns is possible. So this is with respect to your entire inverting amplifier configuration and how exactly it is going to work with respect to your op-amp configuration. I hope the things are pretty clear. So now in the next class, we're going to have a discussion on how exactly the non-inverting amplifier configuration is going to work. How exactly the non-inverting configuration is going to work, and based on that, we're going to see what will be the expression for the non-inverting configuration. So if you have any doubts, any questions, please let me know. Else, we can wind up the class. So fine then, so we'll stop it over here, and then we can continue our class in the next class. So I have already sent you the attendance link, so you can just mark the attendance. The attendance code is as seen on your screen. The code is marked here. Just look on the screen. So this is the 4-digit code for today's attendance. Try to give the attendance. So I have enabled the attendance link, so you can log into your attendance link, whichever I have sent in the afternoon, so I can give the attendance. So with this, we conclude today's class, and then we can continue the session in the next class. So thank you for your patience listening. So we'll meet again in the next class. So if you have any doubts, any questions, you can just ask me. So if you do not have any, so we can wind up the session. So try to give the attendance fast. The code is as seen on your screen. Try to give the attendance, and then if you are done with the attendance, you can exit from the class. It's 2938, 2938. So thank you for your patience listening. We'll meet again in the next class. Thank you.